Meet me on the 50, y'all, man. That was none other than D. Miles College, Purple Marching Machine, directed by Professor Willie Snipes right there, man. Hey, man, you are here for another episode of the Director's Corner. Tonight we have none other than Mr. Professor Willie Snipes. He will be soon to join us on the phone. If you here early, man, appreciate you for getting here on time. Shout out to Quan. I know Quan in here. That's PMM representing right there. All right. Hey, before we get Professor Snipes on the phone, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and share this out. I would like to get everybody out here checking out this dope interview. It's gonna be a dope interview, man. If you know the charisma and the personality that this man has, you already know it's about to be a good interview right here, man. So, again, Purple Marching Machine, director bands right here, Professor Willie Snipes. Right after this interview, we will get into Band Bowl semifinal / Final Four, Southern versus A&T. They will get down for about good 7 to 9 rounds, y'all. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and get Professor Snipes on. Y'all stand by, talk amongst yourselves. Hey, shout out to PYB on the beats, of course. Man, what a way to open the show up right there, man. What a way. If you wasn't there at that Queen City performance, bruh, you missed out. All right, here we go. The man, the myth, the legend, in the flesh. Can you hear me, Professor Snipes?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, let me make sure everybody in the chat room can hear you real good. We see you loud and clear. We hear you loud and clear. Can everybody hear everything good? Give me a thumbs up. All right, I think we good to go, man. How you doing out there? Look, let's take a second and appreciate this backdrop real quick and this whole setup right here, man.
Yeah, we got to give a shout out to Leon Moody, Miles College technical team. He made sure that we had the backdrop and the correct sounds that was needed. He's one of our lead technicians here on campus. You can follow him on Facebook, Leon Moody. He has Moody's Films. He does a great job. A lot of our stuff you see on the website, it comes from him. So big up to Mr. Moody.
Absolutely, man. So how did the fall season treat you, Professor Snipes?
The fall was pretty good. I think it was my best season that I ever taught. This fall I was happy, put it that way. I was very happy with the organization as a whole. A lot of my students attained a high academic average for the first semester, so they were able to return back in the spring semester. About 95% of our band returned for the spring semester because of their GPAs. So I'm very proud of that. This is one of the smartest organizations I had since I've been teaching.
Yeah, man, because y'all been growing, man. Like, when did Miles College, like, really, let me rewind this back. Thank you for being on the show, Professor Snipes. Thank you for
no problem.
You know what I'm saying? I want to talk to all the band directors across the board. I'm glad you took the time to, join us on the show, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so, just to rewind, let's get more into you before we get into the band. Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Birmingham, Alabama. I attended Woodlawn High School. Just to put some in there, me and Professor Brian Knowles, my assistant director of bands, we started band in 1985-86 at Doopy Elementary. We played trombone all the way up through high school together. He ventured off to Tennessee State, and I ventured off to Miles College. I'm actually a Miles College graduate.
So you started out in trombone, you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you answered my question. I was going to ask what your primary horn was, so there you go. Okay, how many instruments do you play altogether, you think?
Well, I think I'm only good at all of them, but trombone is my primary instrument. I can fit on all of them, though.
All right, so you started out. You said you marched at Miles. So how did you transition from a student to being on the leadership at Miles College?
Well, to be honest with you, I never thought that I would be a band director. My assistant director, we always knew he was going to be a band director in school. My background is not, something that you thought would be a band director. You know.
Yeah.
My high school band director told me that I was talented enough to go to college. Mm-hmm. I wasn't even sure about college, and when it was time for me to get ready to go to college, he basically told me that I was going to go to Miles because my grades wasn't where they needed to be. And Miles, they work with students who may not have high GPAs and high ACT scores. So Professor Arthur Means Jr., the founder of Purple Marching Machine, he came over to the school and auditioned us, and we ended up getting scholarships, and we was able to go to Miles. As you know, as a freshman, I was not mature.
Yeah.
I lost my band scholarship my first year at Miles because of my academics. And when I lost my scholarship, that's when it hit and clicked that I need to get serious. Mm-hmm. So I marched, as my sophomore year, I marched for free. I didn't have a band scholarship. I just persevered through it. And something happened my sophomore year. I was just playing around and I wrote a song. I didn't know that it was a hit. And I ran up to the band director. I said, "Mr. Means, I wrote a song." He started laughing himself. Mm-hmm. He said, "Willie, let me hear it." So at that time, we had noteworthy composer. It was a guy named Antoine Underwood down in Tampa, Florida. He was taking time out to show me how to use the equipment, things like that, to learn how to write music. Mm-hmm. And so that night, Mr. Means said, "Well, we're going to try your song in band practice." I was a sophomore in college. And that night, man, I rocked it. The band went crazy. I did not know I possessed that type of talent.
Yeah.
And my college band director, Mr. Means, he told me, said, "Well, I think you should be a music major." Unfortunately, Miles College did not have a music degree at that time.
Wow.
So I'm the first music graduate in the history of Miles College. I'm number one, uno.
What?
Yeah, I'm the first person to ever graduate from Miles College in music.
So the music department started up what year?
Yeah, it started in 2002.
Wow, I didn't know that, man. That's good information right there.
And I finished in 2005. I was taking the minor. I was taking the music minor my freshman and sophomore year, so those credits just rolled over. And it's just God, man, that I stayed on track and I was able to graduate in 5 years with a music degree.
So we opened up the show with the gospel tune with Excellence. Was that your pen? You wrote that?
Professor Brian Knowles is our arranger.
Okay.
He's actually the person that put that on paper.
Yeah.
The emotions came from me.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I had told you earlier my mama had passed away.
Right. You told me that. So I was going to ask more about the inspiration behind that. Was that the inspiration behind that show?
Yes. That year I didn't even know that I was going to return back to Miles. I lost my mother, and I don't know if you ever lost a parent, but that's just definitely a jewel, And I was just at a point where I thought that I was done with band. I didn't want to be around no children, no students, nothing. I was depressed, and my staff kept me strong, my friends kept me strong, and every day I came to band practice. I wasn't in the mood, And one day, we were going over the show, and I said, "Guys, we're gonna do a gospel song. We're not gonna do a dance routine." And the band felt it. The band definitely felt it. We definitely went through the song, and I was telling them how I wanted it. And even in band rehearsal, some of the students were in tears, And we added that female singer. That just did it. She did a fabulous job. And to see 25,000 people on their feet and millions around the world come in, sending letters in to the band, telling us about the job, and the recruits that we got from North Carolina, man, it was just awesome. It was all for the right reason. Yeah. It was not because, we were just trying to get a hand clap. We was actually trying to touch people.
But that's exactly what happened. I know you were directing the band, and then you turned around and you saw the audience. I had never seen a director of a band's. Man, you had like a choir in front of you, man. The whole stands was your choir. Was your choir at that point. And I mean, you heard them over the band at some points. The whole audience singing, man. So,
correct.
Yeah.
God's glory. God be the glory. And without him, man, I definitely would have not made it through what I made it through.
Right.
You know, I miss my mom every day.
Yeah.
There's not a day I go by I don't think about Emma Snipes.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I just want to thank my school for the support on this interview. They took my mom and they took her legacy, and she became an honorary member of Phi Beta Sigma. And the school also made a scholarship in her name, the Emma Snipes scholarship. It's for transfer students with 3.0 or higher, and it's a $3,000 scholarship for transfer students in the name of my mother.
Oh, that's nice.
I would thank my president for even thinking about my mom. You know, a lot of schools, the band directors don't even know the president.
Yeah.
But, you know, my president and the administration, they made sure that I was okay. And I'm just thankful for that, because I wouldn't be sitting here today like, bro, I was seriously done with band.
Yeah. I mean, I hear you tell me that. You this like maybe your 5th or 6th time telling me that, man. But I need you to know the band world definitely needs Professor Snipes in it, man. Definitely, man. You mentioned you know, your upbringing before you got to college, and doing the right and wrong things like that. Now you have an initiative that you started called Horns Up, Guns Down.
Yes.
Could you get a little bit into that, and what made you come up with that?
Well, I had a student to be shot. I had a student to get shot, and the student, he or she wasn't bothering anyone, just at the wrong place at the wrong time, and you know, I got angry. I got real angry about it, and I had to find a way to fight against the violence without using my hands. Mm-hmm. So we did an aggressive stand with the radio station, Birmingham Public Schools, guns down, horns up, to get the kids to put the guns down and pick up a horn, or put the guns down, pick up a football, put the gun down, pick up a basketball. And a lot of people fed into it. You still hear it on the radio to this day. I think 95.7 and 98.7 is still saying stop the violence.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of times, man, when kids get in trouble, it's because they don't have nothing to do.
No outlet.
Right.
Exactly,
and, you know,
right.
Band saved me. You know, this interview is not going to be long enough for me to talk about it. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I have came home to friends or homeboys that's hospitalized, or I have lost a friend to gun violence because, you know, they was in the wrong place, or they were doing things they shouldn't have been doing. But if they was at football practice, band practice, you know, anything, choir, cheerleading, they wouldn't be in those predicaments. You know, when they get home, you know, it'd be time to go to bed. So the band is definitely saving lives. It's saving my life, bro, you know. Absolutely,
man. Everybody can't be a ball player. Everybody can't be a doctor, lawyer. You know, it's a lot of other avenues to go towards, and band is definitely, well, it saves a lot of people. I agree with you on that. So getting back a little bit, a little less heavy, man. People want to know the story about the cool shades, Professor Snipes. What's the story, man? Like it's a style, right?
No, it's not a style. Only reason I got these shades on is because you tonight, Eddie. Because you're talking about the shades, and I'm gonna let the band world in on a little secret. I see a lot of people make jokes about my eyes and things like that, but a lot of people don't know the story behind it. I was actually born with no muscles in my right eye, and I also have lazy eye, and I had to have a donor of a child that deceased donate his muscles to me for my eyes to be able to work. And I had several corrective surgeries on my eyes. Also, when I was 3 years old, I was burned with an urn in my face on my right eye.
Wow.
This eye light hurts. So when we in stadiums and we marching in, the light hurts my eyes. A lot of people, you know, they think that it's funny to make fun of people, but let me say this to anybody, because that's a form of bullying also, when you just make fun of people. But I thank God for it. By me going through that as a child, you know, people just being harsh because I was different, it made me a better person. Yeah. There's nothing you can say that can hurt me. There's nothing nobody on this earth can say to hurt me, because guess what? God made me different because I'm special.
Right, absolutely.
And that's something my mama taught me.
Yep.
You know, I live with that. She said, baby, they just jealous of you because you're different. And it's okay to be different. And I hope people are listening to that. People who may have low self-esteem, it's okay to be different. It's okay to look different, you know. I tell my students all the time, you're beautiful on the inside. That's what matters. And, you know, I have helped so many people in my life, and for me to be the different person. So, you know, my eye is definitely a blessing. But when I was a child, man, it hurted to hear those different jokes. Yeah. You know, we was already not having a lot of things. My mom and dad were just getting on their feet. We didn't have the best of clothes. Mr. Knowles, he can speak about that. We didn't have the best of everything. It was a time, man, we didn't have a car. All we had was each other.
Yeah.
And then you go to school, you had to get here. I had to learn how to fight.
Yeah.
I had to how to tell jokes. I'm very funny and comical.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, it's you either gonna have the people who want to bully or the people who want to take up for the people who getting bullied. And I always seem to like people. I used to be that guy. I had a lot of people on the special needs side of the house that always gravitated towards me. And
right.
And it's like that was my crew. And anybody had a problem with them, I had a problem. I would always defend them, man. And like you said, somebody got to step up. People who getting bullied, man.
Right. Don't be afraid to be who you are.
Yeah.
God made us this way for a reason.
Absolutely, absolutely. So getting back to a little bit of this, the competition of bands, man. Your last 3 years, let me ask you this: what has been the most intense battle that you recall over the last 3 years?
Well, the last 3 years, I really don't. All of them was good. All of them was good, but I want to say when I was assistant director, that was one of my most intense days where after the battle, I just went home and waited for my president to call me and say, what did we just do? We were going against Talladega in 2015. And when we were coming in the stadium, Mr. Buns, that's one of my friends, he crunk up the band. And Miles was in the rebuilding stage, and Talladega was new to the scene. A lot of people haven't seen neither one of us, so we were both trying to make names for ourselves. And we were marching in, and Talladega blew a song at us. And I was trying to figure out a way how we were going to get them back, basically. And so when the show was over, I left my tuba section in the middle of the field, and I had the band to go into the stands, so Talladega could not take the field. And when Talladega got ready to take the field, my tuba section broke into the stands, and we crunk up and stopped their field show.
Man, hold on. I got that video queued up because I knew you was going to say that. Hold on 1 second. Let me go ahead and play that a little bit. Real quick for the people, in case y'all don't know what this man's talking about. Here we go. Miles College, Talladega, 2014. Hey, man, you probably couldn't hear it, could you? Could you hear it?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Hey, man, that was no joke right there. So that was 2014. You're right, because that was the year Talladega hit the scene, I think, right? Or was it the year before?
I think we both started running like 2012. We both, I got hired a year at Miles, and Miguel got hired at Talladega. I think we started around the same time.
So let me ask you this then, because both of y'all in Alabama, with so many very, very good bands in Alabama, man. How do you set Miles College apart, like from the pack? There's so many of y'all in that state, man.
Oh, that's easy. Our sound. Man, nobody sound like us. You know that. Y'all don't even know why you asked me that question, Ed.
It's a lot of good sounds though, Professor. I hear you.
Nobody in this state sound like Miles.
Yeah.
You can cut that TV off and just play audio. You know it's Miles. The ingredients of that sound, man, is just so different. It's so clear. It's so realistic. It's like Bose speakers. You know, this ain't no kicker speaker. This band sounds great. And I'm not bragging or boosting, but the band sounds great, man. Have you ever heard Miles Band on the football field, man? That band sounds so balanced and pretty.
I just know I heard y'all at Queen City that year, like the clip we just played with the gospel tune. That was my first time seeing y'all live, and y'all definitely did not disappoint.
I know.
At all, man.
I know.
So go ahead.
Another thing that set us apart is the hesitation in the step when we come out the end zone. You know, the hesitation, not the rolling type of syndrome. When you see the Miles College band coming out the end zone, it's just paused and ready to take the field. The discipline of the end zone before we take the field. Those type of things that make us different. The band that knows how to act in public places. You know, those are the things that make us different. You know, quarter class stability. This is what we preach here at Miles College. it's a big difference in our band and any other band in this state. All the bands in the state are great, but guess what? They all want to be a image of what we do. We're the band that other bands measure themselves to be.
Wow. So you mentioned about a little bit about the early beginnings of Miles College. Could you get a little bit into, I guess, how the band was built? You know, because I want to say y'all hit the scene in the early 2000s.
Well, the band actually hit the scene in 1949 under the direction of Ivy Bossman Williams. And over the years, Miles had some difficulties, so the band program discontinued. In 1996, Arthur Means Jr., he was set a task to build a band before the first game. He arrived here in July of 1996. By the first game, he had 32 members that hit the scene. The band, it was a great band. It was just small. By the time he got to 1999, 2000, that's when the band started growing and people started seeing the product. People talk about 2004 and 2005 Miles College bands, but one of the really bands that I really remember that was really good and sacred was the 2002 band that went to the Macy's Day Parade in New York. And that band was about 210 members, man. They were tight. I was a part of it. It sounded good. It was one of the best bands that Miles ever had. In the 04-05 periods when we received a lot of students from New Orleans. And that's when we started showcasing our mid sessions, like the baritone and the French horn. Yeah. And those sections went, their numbers went up. And, back in the day, those instruments was not as popular as they are now. It was more of the trombone and the trumpet and the sousaphone. But Miles was one of the pioneers of bringing that mid-session out. Miles don't get a lot of credit because they're not in the SWAC or MEAC. But if you go back and look at Miles in 04, 05, we started a lot of the things that's happening now in band. So showcasing that mid-section, writing a lot of solos in the baritone section and the mellophone section, so... Yeah.
I mean, a lot of bands, you just look at y'all entrance. A lot of bands don't do the end zone entrance anymore. I think y'all do it. Jackson State still does it, I believe. I think y'all the only two that still do that, though, huh?
Well, I know Alabama A&M. I seen them come out the end zone thing for the Master Classic. But you got to remember, when you come out the end zone, you got to have a strong sound.
Yeah, because you know why? Because you point the opposite way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely, man. So, you are definitely a representative of a couple of music organizations. You want to get into a couple of them or your affiliations? Well,
I'm Kappa Kappa Psi. I actually went through membership intake here at Miles College in 2003. I'm also a brother of Phi Mu Alpha.
Oh, hell.
Symphonia.
Okay.
2009, Florida Southern College is where I was initiated at. I'm also a part of the Theta Sigma chapter of Tau Beta Sigma National Honorary Band Sorority here at Miles College. I'm an honorary member of that. Those are the three music organizations that I'm in.
So let me ask you this. What do you think the influence is or the importance of these organizations on band or music programs in general at colleges, universities?
Phi Mu Alpha is definitely good for any type of music major, theater major, choir major, choral, things like that. Phi Mu Alpha is definitely great for the young men to come together and bond and bring all the entities together to make one big, organization. Phi Mu Alpha is definitely is a great organization. I wish I could have became a brother of that earlier. I learned a lot in Phi Mu Alpha, because I didn't know it was just the interest of music. So I learned and I met a lot of different brothers around the world. I don't know if you've seen my live last week when I was in Texas.
Yep.
But we had over 1,300 brothers in Texas singing, and that was beautiful, from all walks of life.
Absolutely.
Kappa Kappa Psi, that's definitely the band frat. That's definitely what it is.
Yeah.
It brings the band together. Then you don't have to worry about people trying to portray sections and things in your band when you have Kappa Kappa Psi. And when the kids go through a process as Kappa Kappa Psi and Tau Beta Sigma, they learn the idealistic of what we need in band. A lot of people have it messed up or misconstrued that Kappa Kappa Psi is a marching band fraternity. But Kappa Kappa Psi is definitely a band fraternity. It don't have to be marching band. You can have Kappa Kappa Psi members in the jazz band, the wind ensemble, the concert band, the percussion ensemble, and the marching band. So it's definitely a great organization. We have brothers all over the world. You know, I'm looking forward to the SED convention here in Birmingham. If any of the brothers and sorors are listening to this interview, I would like to invite you to the beautiful campus of Miles College. I'd like for you to come out and see what we're doing here. Everybody who comes to SED this year, you're welcome to come on campus, have lunch with us, chill out with us. Also, this is our 100-year reunion for KK Psi.
Okay. So let me ask you, so you still got some stepping in you?
Nope.
No loose neck and none of that?
Nah, I can just throw aside.
All right, cool.
That's about all I got. I'm an old man now, man.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So you knew you found your calling, right? You found your calling in music as a band director, as a musician. All right, so what could you see yourself doing, Professor Snipes, outside of that? Had you not taken that route, had you not become a band director, what would you see yourself doing?
Well, if today was my last day at Miles, tomorrow I would definitely try to open me a fishing charter.
A charter, okay.
I would love to take people fishing. I have fished with some big names around the United States, man, and it's fun and it's relaxing, and just to see kids catch a fish for the first time, just like playing a note for the first time, they light up. I don't know if you know how much I fish, but if you check out my Facebook page, you will see me and my dad. My dad instilled that in me as a little boy fishing, and I'm really good at it. Like I think I'm better at fishing than I am at band. So if I didn't have to do band, I'd definitely probably fish all day.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Shoot, so let's see. Did you have any questions for me? I got a few more for you. Anything? I want to go ahead and give you a chance to jump in there too. Anything you want to just tell the people?
Well, basically, I just want to tell all the students out there in the band world who's looking at this interview, please pick a school that can come and say who you are. Don't go to a school for the band. If you're not a person that can take notes in a huge class setting and go do your homework and send it in, or are you a person that need to be in a class with small classes for the teacher and you can have a more intimate relationship? You know, look at all those things. Make sure the school that you are trying to attend is fully accredited. Do not go to a school that's not accredited. Make sure you go to a school that have your major or have something that you're trying to do. Just don't pick a school because of the band, because the biggest goal is you graduate. Mm-hmm. And one thing I can say, the students that come through my program, they graduate, and I'm bragging on that. See, it's not about who take an L. You take an L when your kid's not graduating. You take an L when your kid's not going to class. You take an L when you're not retaining your band. Yeah. It's more the band and just blowing at each other. Because even though we just blowing at each other, a lot of times it's not good on both sides. You know, I'm not afraid to say that. Sometimes that's not good. But when your kids are graduating and come back and they can put back into the college, that's what it's about. So when you're looking for a school, make sure you're looking for a school that fits you. Do not just go to a school because of the band or the hypeness of you may believe. Go to a school that you can actually do well. Yeah.
Speaking of which, so kids coming out of high school this year or next year, how can they find out more about Miles, and how can they get in touch with you? How can they, what's their next step?
Well, if you want to get in contact with me, wsnipes@miles.edu. You can definitely email me, or you can call me at 205-929-1044. That's my office number. We're interviewing right now. We do Skype interviews if we can't get to your school, or we will come to your state and try to do an interview with you. One thing that I need the kids to understand, on the college level, this is a professional band. This is a professional band. Yes, we do help people who may not have skills as better than others. But with that being said, at least know your major skills. If you don't have a prepared piece, make sure you have a prepared piece by the time the band director come visit you. Your band director in high school should give you a prepared piece in the 9th grade. In the 9th grade, you should get a piece of music. And every year, you should get something that challenges you more and more and more and more and more. Everybody playing abilities are different. So guess what? You may not be able to play better than John, but make sure you can do your part. So when I come to interview you, I can hear something. You know, one thing I don't want to hear is an excuse. I don't want to hear an excuse. I want to hear, Mr. Snipes, I know all my skills. This is my prepared piece. And we'll go from there. If you're not as good as you think you should be, I'll still work with you. Yeah. But you got to show me something. You can't come here and not know nothing. So any kid that's getting ready to go to college, practice. Yeah. Another thing, make sure your grades are where they need to be. Make sure your grades. Everybody not a test taker. I thank God that Miles College just don't look at your test scores, but make sure that your grade point average is at least average. Make sure your grade average is where it needs to be. And like I say, graduate. You can't be in a college band and you ain't graduated. Make sure you graduate.
They call that a career bandsman.
Right.
Yeah. So one question I did want to ask is kind of rewinding back to the competitive nature of bands, man. You guys have excelled for quite some time now, and you are in a conference where you are pretty much the powerhouse in the SIAC conference. What are your thoughts on the competition that you have? Do you think you guys have outgrown that conference, or is it holding back Miles as far as, you know, like who you all see week upon week?
Well, let me say this to you, and I know this your show, Eddie, but we're a powerhouse in a lot of conference.
Right, absolutely.
Let's make this clear, man. When I'm quite sure when these people pull up their football schedule and they see Miles College, they go to band practice. Come on, man, be frank. Everybody practices for Miles, because guess what? You don't want to get caught slipping. And when the purple machine is coming, you don't know what way they coming, what angle they coming. We not a band that just play rap. We'll hit you with three-way. You know, I know you heard that. That was a hit last year. You know, we'll hit you with all type of stuff. So let's not say the SIAC, because I'll show up to a SWAT game. I'll show up to a MEAC game, a IAA, and I will take the W.
Absolutely. I'm just more so speaking up amongst the terms of what's scheduled. You know, it's like you can't just jump on the SWAT schedule. They got to schedule you. You know what I'm saying? So like y'all still in the conference. They have you seeing them. They schedule us, then they don't play us no more. All right. Okay.
Nobody, but you know, I'm saying this because nobody wants to talk about it.
Okay.
You know, nobody wants to talk about those type of things, but Miles will show up to your stadium and take it over.
They would.
We're not friendly, man. I'm not friendly.
Yeah. Any band you want to call out for 2019?
All I'm gonna say about 2019, we're going to South Carolina.
Let's do it. South Carolina, okay.
And I think we're going to Florida. I don't know yet, but it looks like we might be going to Florida. And you know we're going to Texas for they moved Queen City to Texas. All I'm saying is it's just Miles College. So, you know, I don't want to hear no excuses. You know, when we show up, you need to be ready. And like I said, when you see us on the schedule, you definitely start band practice. You definitely start practicing. So let's not just say the SIAC, because there's some great bands in the SIAC. Kentucky State is one. Al Never doing a great job down there in Kentucky. You won't believe this, man. One year we were playing, and we were going against all these SWAT bands, and we was in all these battle of the bands. But guess who I enjoyed the most that year? Clark, Atlanta. They were a band that blew me away. Yeah. Like, I enjoyed them. So size don't really matter, man. It's about the performance, the other product.
Yeah.
The performance. So,
let me look in the chat room. So if you got questions for Professor, man, put them in the comment section, and I'm going to read them all. Let me read through, see what we got here. Where you see yourself in about 5 years, Professor? You see yourself still teaching? You keep talking about leaving the game. We ain't trying to see you leave, though.
I don't know about leaving, but if God blessed me, you know, to do other things, you know, because he blessed me to come to college. I'm very loyal to my president. You know, if he need me another 10 years, I'd probably stay here another 10 years. You know, we're going to retire together. That's fine. He's been very loyal to me. If he need me in other capacities on the college floor, you know, I'll be happy to help out. Another 5 years from now, hopefully I still be at Miles, still doing band. The good thing about it is I definitely want to be here when we turn to Miles University. Coming soon.
Okay.
Coming soon.
All right.
Soon.
That's
and I would like to be the band director when they bring the MU down the field. I would like to be that band director.
MU. Hey, Brandon Rogers said he told you to leave South Carolina alone.
Brandon Rogers, you on the clock. You are the enemy right now.
That's the Rogers Bros. I'm not sure if that was JJ or that, it had to be Brandon because he went to NC State. Yeah, he said I told him to leave us alone.
Man, no mercy for nobody.
All right. Quan said, when are you coming back to Tampa?
Tell him I see him in a few weeks.
All right. You heard that, Quan? He gonna be out in a few weeks. Any more questions? Y'all better post them up. So balanced and he was talking about your comment about how balanced and pretty Miles College sound. Okay. Hey, Professor, man, I thank you for your time. I think we good with the questions for now.
Okay. Remember this. Apply at miles.edu. Send in those transcripts, and we'll definitely love to have you. We're looking forward to the Queen City in Texas this year. Hopefully, we'll be doing the Honda Battle of the Bands next year also. And like I said, we have a real exciting schedule next year. So if you have not picked you a college home, and you're looking for a college home, please do not skip over Miles College. We'd love to have you. We want this year to be one of our most glorious years ever next year. I'm seeking all instrumentation, but I'm really going after trumpet players. I have top dollars for trumpets and baritone players. We're trying to double those sections.
All right.
And also, since the college is turned into a university, look out for new uniforms.
There you go. And a couple questions came in last minute. Let me go ahead and go through a couple of them real quick.
Okay.
One said, who is your favorite homegirl? Oh, look, that's what they told me to ask you. Look. Who's your favorite homegirl?
It had to be Emma Snipes, my daughter.
All right, well, there you go. That's not what the answer is on here. So I'm assuming it should have been Bridget Janelle. Should have been Bridget.
Bridget, that's my girl. But my favorite homegirl is definitely my daughter.
All right, who are your top 5 bands?
Top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Are we including Miles?
Go ahead and throw Miles in there, man. Go ahead and throw Miles.
Number 1, Miles.
Okay.
I'm biased.
Okay.
I like Bethune-Cookman. Bethune-Cookman, they sound good. Alabama A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Wright doing a fabulous job. Top 5. I have to go with Jackson State, Brother Little, in my top 5.
Yeah.
And Kentucky State. And if I had to go 6, I had to go with my boy Gil at Texas Southern.
That's a good one. Those are all good picks right there. Yeah, Kentucky State, man, they turned that whole program around, man. Starting with last year, they went out at Mardi Gras. Are y'all going to Mardi Gras this year?
Oh no, we're not going to Mardi Gras this year because it's late. Okay. And Miles has an early graduation.
Okay.
So
okay.
We wanted to go. We had a great time in where's Mardi Gras?
Last year. Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah, it was last year. We had a great time. That battle, Southern and Miles, that was a battle. I never seen so much energy out of 2 bands. That was kind of scary, man. Both bands were just off the chain. And I think both bands feel like they're number 1, Southern and Miles. So it was like they were going at it. And it was really good, man. I learned a lot from that battle. I got to become friends with Kendrick Taylor that day. Kendrick doing a great job at Southern if I left them out. I just wanted to send my grace up to Kendrick in his new role. I know that brother's going to do great. Kendrick, I love you. Keep doing what you're doing. We supporting you over here at Miles College. Anything you need, you got it.
Let me ask you, we end it with this, though. So are there any bands that Miles College has never faced that you are looking forward to or you haven't faced yet that you would like to see? If
Miles would get a chance to have a battle with a band, it's 2 bands that I would love to go against. That's Florida A&M. Chevy Chipman, I hope you're listening to this live. I would love to match up with you, and I would love to match up with Jackson State in the fall with Brother Little. Jackson State and Miles has never been in a battle, and a lot of people thought that Southern battle was the first Miles and Southern, but it actually wasn't. 2002, Miles and Southern played. Miles was beating Southern 21-0, and we lost 28-21 at the end.
Wow.
And I'm a student, and like I said, Florida A&M and Jackson State. That'll be two bands that I'd love to just get in the arena with.
Yeah, because y'all both were in the building, meaning you and Jackson State. Well, y'all both were at Queen City in, what, 2017?
Yeah, but we ended up going against...
y'all was up against Tennessee State.
Yeah, Tennessee State. We against them, and they did a great job, man.
That was a good matchup. That was a good matchup, though.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it with that, Professor, man. I appreciate your time again. Like you said, let me. What was your email again? You told me it's wsnipes
at miles.edu.
Wsnipes. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
My telephone number is 205-929-1044. You can get in contact with me anytime. Just make sure you just leave me some information for me to get back with you.
All right, so there you go, man. PMM, they will be better than ever in 2019, fall 2019. If you are a senior, high school senior, you're looking for a band program to join, you're looking for a great educational program, you're going to learn a lot under this brother right here, man. So make sure you email him or call him and go ahead and look. We already in February. You got to know what school you're going to within this month or so, man. So make that decision, make the right decision. Thank you again, Professor. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Have a good evening.
You too.
All right. Great interview, man. Great interview right there, man. That was Professor Willie Snipes tuning in for the Director's Corner. If you had questions, man, look, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'll go ahead and shoot them over to him through his direct, or if you're friends with him on Facebook, go ahead and friend him on Facebook. Send him your questions, man. He'll get back to you. Great interview right there, though. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut it, because guess what? In 15 minutes, we are getting back into Band Bowl Final Four. Yeah, Southern A&T is tonight. All right? So be back here at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in about 15 minutes, and we're going to get started up, all right? Thanks again to Professor Willie Snipes. Man, great interview. It's a great brother right there, man. Learned a lot. The whole point of these Directors Corners is to get more into the, into the mind of these leaders, man. I mean, we hear the music they make, we hear the arrangements, you see them on the field, but we don't really know. So this gives you a chance to get to know them a little bit better, man. So let's go ahead and keep on coming here. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to keep them going, all right? Directors Corners. But let's go ahead and get into Band Bowl 2. I'll see y'all back here, all right?